I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? I love the ocean. It is so beautiful here. I'm Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I'm a soul sculptor, and I am at my absolutely favorite place. You know, for a Canadian girl from Toronto who spent February's digging out from under a snowbank to be in California, where the snow is only in the mountains, and it is, 60 degrees here today. It's actually quite cool for late February. We've had some temperatures in the 70s. You know, I always knew that I was going to live near the ocean. It was a huge dream of mine. But you know, there was a time when I was pretty disgruntled about the weather, about where I lived, about how much I hated winter, about how gray it was. And during that time, I was really depressed, incredibly depressed. And there were a few Februaries, if I didn't get on an airplane and go to Barbados or some warm place, this is what I thought about. And when we feel like there's no way out, or that this is all there is, we stop dreaming. And when we stop dreaming, or we're worried about what's going to happen, you know, when we get to New York, when we make that move, are we going to find a place? Is anyone going to like us? Are we going to have friends? Will we find a job? Our minds just are constantly chattering at us. We can wake up in the morning and feel tremendous anxiety from all this mental chatter. And when we feel that way, we often go to sleep with this feeling of unrest. We go to bed with unresolved issues. And we sleep not deeply, certainly not relaxed, and we're not healing while we're sleeping, because there's still that underlying anxiety. And when you go to bed with anxiety, you wake up with it in the morning. So there's lots of things that we can do to quiet the mind. The first thing that we need to do is recognize that not all these thoughts that we're thinking are ours. I remember when I was living in Georgia, and I was fairly newly divorced, I guess within the first 2 years, and I didn't know how I was going to pay my mortgage. I would lay awake at night wondering, how am I going to do this? How am I going to manage with my kids and my work? And when we're worried about all these things, it's all we think about. %40 of the things that we worry about have already happened. 30% will never happen, and there's about 4% that could happen. So we're worried about things that we have no control over and will most likely never happen. On my website, I have a couple of things that would help you. I have free resources in the resource tab, where there's all different audios you can listen to. I have a free download, How to Manifest Effortlessly and Easily, because most people are worried about money. And so on my website, jenniferelizabethmasters.com, I highly recommend that you get my free download and take my self-love quiz. Anxiety does not need to be our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I have all kinds of articles about how to resolve it. harnessing these thoughts is what we need to do. We need to give our minds something else to do other than worry. I'm Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I'm a soul sculptor. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe to my video, my YouTube channel. Much love.